I find it salutary to hear that Professor John Curtice, Sir John Curtice, who, um, well, Sir John Curtice and I share a very interesting experience. We were both dubbed with fake information when we were interviewed on a program on Russian television. And I had taken a copy of the interview that I gave at the time. I'd got a copy on my iPhone. And so I was able to compare what I was made to say with what I'd actually said. And there was quite a significant difference. And John Curtice felt that there was a difference between what he said and what was broadcast as well. So this was an interesting situation, and I'm always very entertained when I see John Curtice on television because of this. And in the end, I wrote to the BBC, and the BBC did a little article about John Curtice and myself both suffering this experience, which proved before the invasion of Ukraine that Putin's Russia was busy doctoring the news. Putin's Russia was right at the cutting edge of fake news and of the modification of what people say. So if they can do this for things which don't matter, and frankly, what I had to say didn't matter. I'm sure what Professor Curtice had to say was a little bit more significant, but what I had to say was largely irrelevant. So if they could do this over small things, then they can certainly do this over big things. Now, he has said that while many Conservative voters would like illegal or legal immigration to come down, the probability, he says, that a 2019 Conservative voter would vote Conservative again is largely unrelated to their views on the level of legal or illegal immigration. The Conservative MPs are obsessed with the idea that the people want illegal and legal migration to come down, but actually it doesn't affect most people to start with. And secondly, I think probably most people are more concerned about the way migrants are being kept in hotels and the cost of that, which is largely not about how many people are coming in, but how inefficient and useless the Home Office has been since the days of Theresa May and since the implementation of, quote, the hostile environment. What we need is a Home Office minister who can galvanise the Home Office into doing its job properly, and we need to get those numbers right down. Today, Rishi Sunak might have been crowing about halving inflation. He should have been crowing today about halving the numbers of migrants processed. And that is the priority. Get the migrants out of the hotels, get them into homes of their own and jobs of their own so they can start paying tax and contributing to this society that they say they want to join. That is the mission of any government with a brain. John Curtice goes on, even if the government were to make progress on this issue, it's unlikely to help. He says, appealing to your core vote and trying to create dividing lines with your opponents might feel good, but it doesn't necessarily represent an effective electoral strategy. What today does do, however, is raise more questions about the government's competence. Depending on how you read the court judgment, there would now seem to be a question mark over whether anyone is going to be sent to Rwanda this side of the election. The answer must be that they aren't. I don't think there's any question mark. I think there's a firm line drawn underneath this. Even if the Rwanda option were somehow put back on the table, the legal objections that would follow any attempt to do anything would take up most of the next year and would take up a lot of money. We have already wasted £140 million that we gave to Rwanda. We have already wasted £9 million a day on hotel accommodation. This is all in the sphere of Suella Braverman's stupidity. And it's time to draw another line under Suella Braverman. and say, enough is enough. We now need to start repairing the damage, and preparing the country for a change of government if necessary, but certainly preparing the country for a change of heart.